Yeah.
Speaking of fire, it's 2008, right?
Yeah.
Today it's 2025. It's almost 20 years.
Yeah.
So looking back, as a mother, as family members, and I also do remember that some families did get huge backlash of, what? You're taking your child to Asia for innovative, back then, highly criticized care, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about this emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, that was really hard because we did agree to go on the national television show, and there's a doctor in Los Angeles who is a proclaimed himself as the expert in ONH. And they had him there basically ripping me up. I was a bad mom. I was doing snake oil medicine, all from a country that didn't want to help us. So it was really hard to take. And I'm a pretty positive person, so I didn't give them much credit. It was like, I'm not impressed by you. One, you don't even want to see my daughter because I'm going to take her. And two, you said you would never even go into China. Well, how do you know if you've been there? Like, he didn't come with anything. It was all just fluff. And so, and he didn't know that I'd done the research. He didn't even ask me. So with that, I was just kind of like, I'm not going to put my daughter in harm's way. I'm not that kind of person. You can call me that, but that doesn't mean anything. So I'm not going to give you any of that power. And I believe in transforming some of those bad things into positive. And we do have good doctors in America, but they're suppressed. And so when you dig and you find them, they're more than willing to help out. They just know that their hands are tied and they can't do anything. And so when he was like, I read through the protocols that you sent me, I told him what they were doing. And he flat out said, he goes, I just don't know if they're doing a high enough amount in a short amount of time. But he goes, but what their protocol is and what they're doing, he goes, nothing will happen. He goes, it's a blood transfusion. She'll be fine. So he goes, if anything, he goes, a little bit might happen. But he goes, yeah, if you can afford it, he goes, I think you should go. So that made me feel right then and there that I was talking to someone sincere. He asked questions. He wanted to see what we were going to be doing. And so you just have to give validity to the people who actually care, because a lot of those people didn't care. They just don't want any. I don't feel like they want you to be successful. They want to take away your hope. And that is just so big when you're talking about a quality of life. I mean, that guy can go home and be with his family or do whatever, but I have to go home with her. And I have to see her live her life and the hopes and dreams that she has. And what can I do to give her the best quality of life possible? And it happens to be, you might have to leave the country. But we make that happen. Mm-hmm. Don't start.
Yeah. Sorry.
Emotion there.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk about because, when they tell you you're a bad mom, and it's like, dude, that's all I wanted to do. Like, I didn't go to school because when you have a child with a disability, then you rearrange your life. It's like, okay, so I will put any kind of professional career I want to have on hold. I'm going to be with her, and then we're just going to go on this journey together.
Yeah, and it was also...
And it's been a great life.
It's been amazing. It was also difficult for me. There was another doctor that that was talking to us from Colorado, actually, that it pulled me aside and asked, is your mom making you go? Do you feel safe? And that was just, like you were saying, when you have this hope and then you see these people who have no idea. And I also think a lot of it is fear. People don't, I think in the society we live in today, a lot of people don't do their own research and they just take somebody's word for, what something is. And so I think there's a lot of fear there where people just throw that around.